I was just rambling and raving, and the camera had cut out on space. I'm not sure exactly where I was, but I think we are talking about Katie Kookaburra and how well she's done. She's followed my template. Her whole life's transformed. She's just a girl of logic going, hey, this makes sense. I want those results. I'm going to put it together and I'm going to go forward in this path. I'm going to head north and get it done. And so Katie's kicking ass. She's got a huge social group. She's earning great money. She's got control of her health, control of her weight. Fitness is best ever. She's looking fantastic. She's got the most control, the biggest participation in her daily reality she's ever had. Now, I don't care how much money you got, how much fame or whatever's going on. Having that participation in your daily reality, for me, that's like the quality of life. Participation in daily reality, because you understand what's important in life, how to get it. You understand the importance of carbohydrates, sleep, water, and sugar, and all that vibe check, mood control. You understand what caffeine does to your mood before, during, after certain medications or whatever. You understand all that. Now you have all that information, and you can pick and choose how you want to feel any given moment of the day. That's, my friends, is what we call participation of reality. Having that participation of daily reality. Which when I was younger, I didn't really understand you had a choice. I thought, well, I just feel bad because I feel bad. I feel good because I don't know why, but I just feel good. And then understanding, going, well, why do I feel bad today? Yesterday I felt fantastic. Or why does my performance suck now on the bike and half an hour ago I'm ripping it up? What's going on? So using things like power meters and lightweight bikes and blood tests and all these things and nutritional experiments over the last 19 odd years of me being a vegan, and before that, even longer before that, being into health and feeling better and having that participation in my daily reality. That's where I'm at. So girls and guys out there, who are taking my advice and just driving it home hardcore. Not a little bit of dilute during right advice or a little bit, just driving it home hardcore. Look at any of my girlfriends before and after. And again, not to try and sound arrogant or like, hey, I'm the boss. But, I had one girlfriend who was living in Sydney. We were together for like 9 years. She had zero fitness, was on weight loss drugs, starving herself. Just, and I'm not here to bag or diss. I'm just saying that's very common for young, attractive women to get sucked into that binge purge cycle, because you're facing your aesthetic. That's your currency. That's your SMV. Men and women, especially women. I don't make those rules. That's just how the rules are. And so these girls just get desperate, thinking, I'll lose a bit extra weight, I'll get more attention, I'll get this, I'll get that. And so they get into bad habits of recreational drugs, prescription drugs, binging, stupid diets, blah, 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 overtraining, all this. And eventually, you can get some results, but you can't maintain it. Mentally, you can't. Physically, you can't. Endocrinologically, you can't. And poof, the rebound. So I had a girl who was on the rebound, she had massive debt and just all this stuff. Kidnapped her from Sydney, said, come to Adelaide, we'll get you that fittest you've ever been, leanest, and boom. She's like, I don't know. I said, look at me, we'll get it done. And then bang, 9 years later, 8 9 years later, $1 million in the bank, control over everything. Going back to some bad habits now, but still, just did fantastic. Other girls, just day one, never ridden a road bike with clipless pedals. Clip them in, and then, a few months later, they're doing national level wattages. Who's doing that? It's amazing. Natasha was at university studying nutrition. I said, that's just dumb. You'll have too much of a high SMV to be at university, wasting your youth at university. Unless it's what you want to do. Do you enjoy waking up every Monday going, it's Monday, I get to go to university. Yes, I can't wait to spend 2 hours on the train going to Wollongong from Sydney on the commute. I can't wait. I just can't wait to get to my lecture. I love every minute of it. I just look forward to the books. If that's you, university's for you. If it's not, don't do uni. Do what you love and work your ass off it. And so Natasha did that. She quit uni. Her family's like, and now she's making way more money than any of her kids that would have gone to university were still there. She's got way better quality of life. She's got the greatest participation of her daily reality ever. What's even this video even called? I don't know. This stuff just works. So this isn't about weight loss. Oh, how do I lose the last 3 kilos? Maybe that's what the video will be called. How to lose the last 3 kilos. I'll hook you in with what you're looking for, and then you walk out going, what was that? I wasn't expecting that, Damn, that was logic. Logic's rare today in today's society, where most people out there in the fitness or weight loss or even cycling scene, running scene, out there to just tell you absolute BS, inflate your ego with nonsense that you sort of know is BS, but you're like, well, I feel good, so I just go with that. All right, always go with logic. Always go with logic. Logic for the win. All right, I am a very logic-driven person, and logic will create some pain in your life because you're going to have to make changes because you're like, I'm doing stuff that's illogical and irrational. But if you follow the path of logic, you'll have the safest life. You'll have the most fun life. It'll be the healthiest life. It'll just be the best life you can have. Always go with logic. If in doubt, go, is this logical? Not based on what the media says or blah, 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 or some doctor who's snorting coke on the weekends and blah, blah, blah. You know, listen to logic. Don't listen to like polished stuff. You know, polished stuff's nice. We all like a nice clean jersey and a nice clean helmet and clean gloves that don't smell like roadkill. But you know what I'm saying? Go with logic. If you've got clean gloves, that'll keep the wedge-tailed eagles off your back. You know, and you've got to have fun in life, man. If it ain't fun, it ain't going to be sustainable. So what my definition of fun now is a lot different to 30 years ago. Right? Fun back when I was 14 was riding my bike, but it was also pulling out street signs, digging a hole, putting that street sign in someone's front yard. It was getting garden gnomes, drawing sunglasses on them and putting on someone's doorstep. It was, you know, getting for sale signs and putting them on someone else's lawn. Like, it was just, or auction tomorrow. Like, that was sort of fun when people turn up to someone's house on a Sunday morning looking for an auction that's not even there. Like, I mean, that was fun as a 14-year-old. Now I'll be like, that's just stupid, immature crap, you know? That's what we did when we were 14. So if someone put an auction sign in front of my house, I could see the fun side of that because that would be karma because I did that. So that's the deal here. You know, you want to have fun in life. I do like that you keep your videos real, Harley. You know, I noticed you haven't been swearing much lately. I mean, I generally don't swear too much because the algorithm doesn't really like it. And if I'm trying to reach people, you know, I can swear in other areas on social media, but YouTube, I try and keep it algorithm friendly. And I don't really need to swear, do I? But I do swear in real life typically because that's just who I am. But I understand sometimes you have to tweak it a bit for the algorithm. So I see you guys on Norton Summit occasionally. I'm training for 3 peaks in a couple of weeks. We did 12 repeats on Norton's on Saturday. It wasn't that fun. How to make training more fun, you know. This is a follow-up video. If you haven't seen the video from the last one, was how to become lean and fast. This is when the camera cut out. So this is just top off the head. I'm speaking from experience here, channeling carbohydrate excellence. If you're doing 12 laps of Norton Summit or any hill, first people don't know Norton Summit's a 5-kilometer hill, 5.6 kilometers around about, so about 5.6% gradient as well. It's a fast hill. It's not very steep. Generally, if you get a headwind, it's, you know. But it takes people from 11 minutes to 30 minutes to get up there. It's a decent hill. It's good training for the 3 peaks because there's not many cars on there. You can do repeats. It's pretty good. You can stash food and water. There's water at the top. It's very good climb for training. If you're doing 12 repeats and it's not fun, I would say that the reason why it's not fun is that, one, your expectations may be unrealistic. Maybe you go, I've got to do sub 15 minutes every single lap or sub 20 or whatever. And that's, you know, not really realistic sometimes if the wind's not in your favour. Maybe you didn't bring enough carbohydrate with you. You know, that's a big realism that a lot of people underestimate. Well, I'm trying to lose weight. Eating's cheating. I've got to eat less and move more. I can burn the weight. No, that's not how it works. Short term might work. Okay, short term's good. I can do it for short term and then come back to it. No, you can't, because your thyroid will take a whack. Or I can just take thyroid medication. You're losing the point, people. Right? You're losing the point. You know, taking something you don't need, especially thyroid meds, is going to create a lot of mental health issues from what I've seen out there, okay? I just seen it. Doesn't end up good. Now, how about you eat enough carbohydrates per hour? I would recommend, if you're doing 12 laps in Norton Summit, you're going to be out there for many, many hours, you know, 3-4 hours most likely. So I'd recommend at least 100 grams of sugar, per hour. Just table sugar. Put a bit of sports drink powder in there if you want a bit of flavour, or a squeeze of fresh lemon. And then you have that, and then another bottle you have straight water. So you have your sugar squirt, and then shake some water, rinse your mouth, dental hygiene, you're good to go, you know. And then you won't be bonking, and your mood will be higher. And then when your mood's higher, because you're looking after your physiology, not just because you pop a pill, oh, I've got some caffeine, I'm good now, I'm good. That doesn't work. It's not healthy, man. You have the crash. Every up is a down. So when you have the sugar up, that's good, right? The sugar down is just you're running out of sugar. oh, we need to have some rest, we need some more water. There's no sugar crash, right? That's just you're running out of sugars. We need some more sleep because you didn't get enough sleep yesterday, right? There's no such thing as a sugar crash. When someone says, "Oh, sugar crash," I'm like, "What do you mean by that?" Like, you get a sugar crash, you get a spike, and you get a crash. I said, "What's you wearing a helmet, so that's good, isn't it?" What is a sugar crash, Harley? Yeah, what is it? Oh, your blood sugar's low. That means you need more sugar. Hypoglycemia, low sugar. You need more sugar. And if you're eating too much dietary fat, a few tablespoons of oil for most people is too much fat. That affects your insulin resistance, increases your insulin resistance. It decreases insulin sensitivity. So you're having your fat, because you think, oh, it's healthy fats. So healthy fats, avocado, bacon or fish or oil or whatever, expensive flaxseed oil. You're having that. It's creating insulin resistance. How? Every gram of fat you eat gets in your blood system via your lymph. It coats your insulin receptor sites in your cell. So when you're having your sugars, it's trying to go in the cell, it's not going in because the insulin receptor site is coated with too much fat. So you drop the dietary fat, that insulin resistance drops right down with the fat. Every gram of fat you eat raises insulin resistance. Every gram of fat you don't eat decreases insulin resistance and increases insulin sensitivity. So now you've got all this fat that's down here, zero or minimal, and then the sugar can enter the cell. And so your body needs less insulin, which means your weight just falls off. Excess weight falls off. The higher insulin level, the more your body weight will be on the scales. Just remember that. High fasting insulin is more mass. That's why a lot of bodybuilders, I don't recommend it, a lot of bodybuilders use insulin. It makes you bigger. Wrestlers, rugby players, they abuse insulin. They use insulin, all right? So can be very, very dangerous. Many bodybuilders and rugby players have died from excess insulin. It's just very dangerous. Do not recommend it. If you want to gain weight, just do keto, and then you'll rebound like a mofo, and you'll be bigger for the door as a bouncer. Simple as that. You'll probably feel crap as well, but that's just the deal. So once we understand the endocrine system at a base level, at a layman's person, as an everyday person, as an everyday human, once we understand our hormones better, it's like, oh, that makes sense. That's logical. Most endocrinologists couldn't explain to you how insulin resistance works because they don't even know. Or they'll go off a tangent of jargon, baffle and dazzle you with BS terms or just over the top terms. You'll be like, nodding your head like, I don't understand a word you're saying, but I'm not going to say anything because I don't look dumb. Yeah, I understood that. Yeah, cool. Okay, wow, you're an endocrinologist. He's $300. Yeah, I walked out even more confused. Great. Most endocrinologists don't know how insulin resistance works. Just reduce your sugars, do a little bit more exercise, and eat a healthy, balanced diet. What does that mean? I don't know. Well, different for different people. So yeah, anyway, that's your appointment. That's time. See you next time. We'll book you in. Go see the receptionist and pay. Thanks. Cash or card. See ya. And that's the diabetes. That's the whole industry there, right there. They don't want people to get off their meds, and in a large percentage of people, most people can get off their meds and or reduce it massively. And or live a much, much better quality of life, any better control of their blood sugars. So when you get a sugar crash, you just haven't had enough sugar, and or you're eating too much fat. So your insulin resistance is blocking sugar to the cell. So your blood sugar is dropping off. Even though you're eating the sugar, your blood sugar is low. All right, so drop the fat, sugar goes in, you're good to go. And then you'll need even less calories per hour. Not that we're trying to do that, but you'll need less calories per hour. You'll need less carbs per hour relative because the carbs are going into the cell. And then you're like, wow, this is really good. It's like a driving your car for 4 or 5 or 8 hours and you've got a leak in the fuel tank. You need to have more fuel, more hormones, more this, more that to process everything in that car. Well, cars don't run on hormones, but so if you're a human who's running on hormones and stuff naturally or exogenously, if you're leaking sugar in your bloodstream, elevated blood sugars, sustained fasting blood sugars because your insulin resistance is too high, then you've got these other inflammation markers and cascades, everything, estrogen and GLUT4 and all these other sexy terms. So what we have to do, drop the fat, and everything just works better. You have better endurance, things like that. Now, if you find yourself your body fat's getting too lean, eat more fat and cut back your training. Cut back your training. Now you don't have to train for weight loss anymore because you're lean enough. Now you can just train for performance. You can cut your Ks back 100, 200, 300K a week, because you're single-digit body fat. You have to do epic stuff no more, because if you did, you'd probably get too lean. And then and there's other ways we can manage that. But it's, so that's why my reality is. Look at my Strava. 3 Peaks is a challenge here in Australia. It's easy. It's and I'm not trying to be arrogant. I'm just saying it's easy. It's a day ride. It's not a 24-hour ride. It's not multiples. It's variety course, beautiful scenery, heaps of people, heaps of stimulus. So it's an easy ride. What happens is people make it very, very hard. The 3 Peaks or any of these Grand Fondo style rides, and they're great. They're good to do. Just pay attention and take it easy on the downhills. Otherwise, end up in hospital like a lot of people do, unfortunately, every year. Pay attention to the downhills. Take it easy. Take it easy in the downhills, or take it easy in hospital. A guy in Norton Summit recently, unfortunately, had a crash, hit a kangaroo coming down the hill. Fractured sacrum and bones, not good. Very unfortunate, very sad. I feel for the guy. A relatively new cyclist. I would dare say he was going too quick for the situation. He was going at appropriate speed, but then the kangaroo jumped out. And if you go at a certain speed, when the kangaroo jumps out, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter, he had disc brakes, it doesn't matter if you've got skill or whatever. The kangaroo jumps out and you're at that threshold of speed, you're hitting Skippy, all right? And hopefully both of you walk away, okay, bounce away right away, okay. Unfortunately, this situation, the cyclist didn't. He ended up his ride in an ambulance. Very unfortunate. The pain and the medications and now the time off. Take it easy in downhills, people. Take it easy in downhills. I've seen too many deaths on the bikes and motorbikes because of speed. And speed can be 60k an hour down a hill. You don't have much protection on a bicycle. You hit a kangaroo at 60k an hour, you could die. People have died. So I just take it easy. Or a deer even. So the 3 Peaks, people go too hard at the start. They don't have a power meter. They're not holding back. And then they can't hold on. If you can't hold back at the start, then you won't hold on at the end. If you can't hold back your fear of carbohydrate, you won't hold on at the end. And that goes for anywhere in life. You'll bonk out. You'll just run low on sugar. And your performance will be out the back door. Your power in your head, power in your legs, power in your blood pressure will drop right off. You'll be feeling faint and disorientated and moody and bitchy and feminine and beta and all this blue pill stuff. Well, there's a time for that, but not really in 3 Peaks. So get the carbs in. 3 Peaks, at least 100 grams of sugar per hour. I don't recommend gels. I don't recommend sports drinks too much. A lot of them have additives in there, which on a long ride, like sodium benzoate and potassium sorbate, all these things, if you have them in mass, a few grams of them in a day can really give your stomach upset, right? So that's when people say, I tried the gels, but my gut's bad. I'm like, just use sugar, table sugar, right? It's the cleanest, the best source of carbohydrate. Sucrose. Now, logistically, fruit would be really good, but logistically it's not good because you're carrying 80 bananas. Imagine eating 80 bananas in 3 Peaks. So just having refined sugar in your water bottle, you're good to go. Maybe a couple of Cliff Bars, just to have something sit in your belly, just for that feeling. They won't hold you back. And Cliff Bars is something in them, they're pretty magical like that. But yeah, I would say if I was going to do the 3 Peaks challenge, how many hours would it take me? 7, 8, 9. I would take at least 800 grams of sugar in a bottle. Ideally, have someone out there give me a bottle halfway, so I don't have to carry the weight. But if I didn't, that's fine. And then I'd have probably 3 or 4 Cliff Bars with me, and that's it. And then just water, fill up at the stops with water. And then I'm good to go. And then I can just charge on with my head up, not my head down. Charge up, head up. Take it easy in the downhill. Take it responsibly. Front wheel blowout, kangaroo. Can I react? If the answer is no, why am I risking my life for this? I'm going to slow down a bit, wash off a bit of speed. On the hills, what's my goal watts? I'm probably going to be climbing at 250, 300 watts per climb. For me, for some people, that's 300 watts. I'm going to do 400 watts per climb. And for some people, 100 watts is going to be their limit. It depends on your weight, your fitness, and what cycle you're on. So it's, those things. And people also make 3 Peaks very hard because they don't have the right bike. Maybe their bike fits low. Their bike saddle has slipped down. They don't even know. But overriding with bumps, the seat post has slipped down 4, 7, 8 mils, 15 mil. They don't even know. Well, I did a bike fit. Yeah, but where's the measurement on your seat post? I did a bike fit. It cost me a lot of money. It's fine. Where's the measurement on your seat post? How do you know it hasn't slipped? Well, my bike fit. And I do. That was last week, yesterday, 2 years ago. Where's the proof that post hasn't slipped? Get a liquid paper pen, Steve Hogg style, or gentle little nano scratch just on your seat limit there. On your seat as well, the limit markers for fore and aft or back and forward, up and down. Mark stuff, right? Graffiti your bike, your handlebars, just so if anything slips, you've got a reference point. Your cleats on your shoes, put a little whiteout pen around there. These simple things people overlook, and they make the ride harder than it has to be. I love hard rides where I do a good performance relative to where I'm at. I don't like hard rides because my seat post slipped down and I didn't know about it, or I did know about it, and I was like, oh, I didn't bring a multi-tool, or something proprietary seat post clamp snapped. Now I'm stranded at Three Peaks start with no option but to ride out the saddle for 200 something Ks. So I like hard, but hard, logical hard, not illogical hard. I like red pill hard, not blue pill, making it hard and it has to be hard, and finishing 2 hours behind what you should have done that day because you did some illogical, stupid stuff. Not because you're bad or whatever, just because you didn't know, we didn't think it was important. So yeah, and that's it. Bike fit, carbohydrate, water intake. Let's talk about water. You want to have at least, enough water so you're peeing every 2 or 3 hours. Oh, that's going to take too much time. Pee on the downhills if you've got the skill. Make sure you don't pee on your group. Just pull over in the bushes. 30 seconds, you're good to go. Shake your hands a bit. Shoulders, relax. All right, just go. That thing can just change everything. Close your eyes while you're doing it. Make sure you don't step on a tiger snake. Just to rest things. Just like, all right, reset. Boom, round 2, round 3, round 5. Just go. Things like that. Get in your corner, have a piss, have a sip. Boom, go again. Those things can rejuvenate your psyche for the next climb or the next downhill. They increase your attention awareness, increases your performance, increases your safety. You have a better experience. You want to go back there again. Or your family members, when you come home, you're not a grumpy POS. You come home like, and they're like, oh, I want that feeling. I want some of that. I want to ride a bike too. If you come home like a prima donna who's all touchy and flaky, people are like, oh, cycling, yeah, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Are you an ambassador for cycling for your family? Or you're putting them off because that's just way too hard and moody and don't want that. I don't want a broken sacrum or broken chin. I ain't going to be riding my bike. So are you an ambassador for people around you? All these little things we think about here at the Duran Rider Camp. So water, piss and clear every 2 or 3 hours. Gear ratios, you want to have proper climbing. Unless you're Chris Froome, you want to be at least have some compact cranks. And probably, I dare say, Chris Froome would use compact cranks for Three Peaks. And I would even recommend less than compact, even a 4630 on the front. If you run Shimano cranks, Absolute Black do a fantastic 4630 oval ring. Works great, been using those for years. Works with DR2, works with everything. Shimano and SRAM. Durala-wise, only 11-speed Shimano cranks though. So that works fantastic. On the back, I'd run a 30 cassette at least, or even a 34 or a 40, depends what you need. And it's better to have proper gearing than to be grinding up the back of Borborg or Hossam or whatever climb you're going to do that day, anywhere in the world, outdoors, just grinding, just going, oh, how long's the top going to go? And then you get back and your back's so extra tight and it has to be, and you've got tendonitis, and you have to take 3 weeks off training, go see a physio, who's going to tell you BS stuff, and, give you some BS stretches, not even talk about what gear ratios or what cadence you're at or what your wattage was that day or anything like that. They're just going, well, you got weak glutes, you got to do this stretch, this $300, $200, see me next week, let's do it again, And the cause was your stupid gear ratios. Wasn't your weak glutes or nothing was active. That was the issue, people. I mean, those little things can help, but it's your gear ratios, man. That's the main trigger. That's the main cause, people. Have spin to win gears. If you're not hitting 80 cadence up every climb in Three Peaks or any climb, if you can't maintain 80 average cadence, your gear choices are inappropriate. Change down the gears or change that cassette or change those chain rings. Okay, do that. Got plenty of videos about that. And do you want to go faster on Three Peaks for the same given effort, or do you want to go slower? Like I said before the start of the video, people make these things harder than it has to be. Illogically harder. I love logic harder. That feels good. I've given my best. I've done all my performance, tech, everything. The logical stuff. The cheap way as well. The logic way is also the cheapest way, long-term, short-term. And I'm just like, wow, this is good. That feels good. Versus go, wow, I lost an hour because I ran out of sugar. I flew all the way to Falls Creek or France or wherever, and I lost 1 hour, 2 hours, or I had a bad crash where I'm in hospital for 3 months because I didn't have enough sugar and I couldn't pay attention properly or whatever, just because of 20 cents or 10 cents or 50 cents or $1 worth of sugar could have prevented the whole ordeal I just put myself and my family and the ambulance crew through, etc. Or, you know, I got coach and I'm doing all this stuff, and then you just run out of sugar in the climb or run out of water. And it's like all that work you put in, people, you know, on the day you don't perform. That's frustrating. That's illogical. So hopefully that doesn't happen. It won't happen now if you've seen this video. If you take action on the advice you've been given in this video, you'll have your best result ever, especially mentally. There's 3 ways to train. You can train your cadence, all right? You can train your cadence. You can work on your pedaling technique, pushing and pulling, stuff like that. You can be focused on your cadence, 80 to 100 cadence. Next thing you can train is your mindset. Maybe today your legs aren't feeling it. You may be a little bit asthmatic or you just whatever. It's not happening today. You've done a warm up, or it's cold, or it's really hot. Just something's happening. Your watts is maybe 10 watts off or 40 watts off. It's not happening today. But you can train your head and you can keep pushing on that little interval, that little climb, that Strava segment. And you go, well, I'm not pushing my PR watts today. That's okay, but I can push my PR mental watts. Where I just don't give up. I just fight to the line. I've just been dropped, but I'm going to fight the next 1 minute, 30 seconds, 30 minutes all the way to the line to catch up to my mates or whatever. I ain't going to give them a second. I'm going to keep fighting all the way to the line. That's where you can train your head. And then the other one is you can train your legs, You can train your legs by just pushing through the pain, just feeling that pain in your legs and just going, I don't care, I'm going to keep pushing. Got my cadence, got my head on, now I've got my legs. I'm going to turn those legs on and I'm going to push. I'm going to absolutely tear this bottom bracket off my bike. I'm going to do that. I'm going to keep on stomping. If the bottom bracket's still intact on the bike, I didn't push hard enough. Right, so that's the deal there. Natasha's coming in. She's hearing this talk. She's like, what's going on?
All I can hear is a bunch of yelling while I'm eating fruit salad.
Welcome to my reality. So that's the deal there. You just keep pushing until that bottom bracket is severed from the bike. Otherwise, you didn't push hard enough. If you get to the top of the hill and your legs, and you've done your 80 to 100 cadence, and your legs aren't smashed, then you didn't go hard enough on that hill. Now, again, that's when you're training your legs. Obviously, you wouldn't be doing that on the 3 peaks ride or a longer one because that's an 8-hour, 10-hour ride. So you're going to be doing a more specific training for that. So if you're doing Norton Summit repeats, your legs aren't going to be smashed every lap. But I would recommend smashing your legs for at least 2 to 3 laps. Smashing your legs and then riding with smashed legs the remaining 9 laps. Or building up to that. You always want to build up things as well. Come home from training where you're not totally smashed physically, but you've given your legs a good smashing, right? But you've still got a little bit left, right, when you come home because you've had enough water, you've had enough carbs, you didn't ride into the door thirsty, you didn't ride into the door really hungry. You never want to come home hungry or thirsty. If you did, you didn't eat and drink enough on the ride. Now, I do that all the time. That's a noob mistake. I come home from the ride not hungry, not thirsty, because I had water and carbs out there. That's a simple thing. You're going to have such a better recovery rate. And then even that afternoon, you might go, I might want to go again. Or if the kids are like, let's go and hang out, let's do something, you're like, oh, well, you can do that. If you come home ravenously hungry or thirsty, you're not going to recover properly. You're not training properly. So that's the deal. Anyway, this is the deal. We're going to wrap this video up. This is 3 peaks advice. We'll see you next video. If you appreciate the video, give it a thumbs up. If you think it's a load of BS, give it a thumbs down. We're going to go for a ride and hit the crow's nest here at Victor Harbour. See you soon.